Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. This is the Dinka Sugoi. Is that how you say it? Sugoi? I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. And I'm about to find out if it'll off-road in the snow. This is our 4th week of will it off-road in the snow. We have 2 more to go after this one. This week kicked off, I think this week kicked off when other people started choosing cars. I think the first 3 weeks I chose cars. I don't know, I can't remember. But this one was chosen by, we just passed him there, the guy you can see in the top right-hand corner, Raven, or as he's currently known in the Vainglorious Discord as Mustachioed Grandma. If you've seen the Human Fall Flat videos on my channel, you'll understand that reference. But we also call him British Brandon because he's a Brandon. And that makes him a person who has the best name on the planet. Not that I am biased or anything. So, yeah, Sugoi, front-wheel drive, 4-banger. It struggles. That's just the easiest way to put it. This is not going to be the simplest run. We are about to start running into problems in just a moment, and it was a very slow run. You know, when you're being outran by somebody on a motorcycle, you know, in the winter, it's something. But this is the problem right here. You can see it with front-wheel drive vehicles in the snow in GTA Online is they lack the grip necessary to put the power down, and you just wind up with wheel spin. And I know, you're shouting in the comments, throttle control, feather that thing. No, it doesn't work. Because then you can never get enough speed to get up this hill. If you try to modulate. And even then, there. See, look, that is very light throttle. Very light, and the wheels just spin. They have no grip. Which is just odd because, you know, in the snow, a front-wheel drive car does pretty well. Granted, also not going up, probably a 30% grade, maybe even more than that. I don't know exactly what this grade is, but yeah, it's something. So I decided just to not even keep trying conventional methods and go to what we've done for a few other front-wheel drive cars, and that's effectively make it rear-wheel drive and rear-wheel steer. But you know what? It worked. Though now I'm kind of, stuck, and then I went too far, and then I got high-centered, and it's just a thing. You know, it's all right, though. We'll get there. You can probably tell from the length of the video that this one definitely takes a while. It's one of the slowest. In fact, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 away from just the DNF range on road off-road of the snow. There's only 3 vehicles that took longer to get up the mountain than this, and then everything else in the list DNF'd. But it was still a lot of fun. And at least the next vehicle in the video is somewhat more competent, though we're going to run into some issues there as well. And if you've looked at the title and you're thinking, well, how does that have problems? You'll see. But yeah, we did have a good time with these. As you can see, Raven, who chose the car, and he's in a Sugoi, he is struggling. Hobo in his, whatever the S2000's called in GTA, I can't remember. He's doing fine. He's having no issues whatsoever, even though, you know, he might be a bit chilly. Though at least he does have his jacket on it. No scarf, no gloves, and no hat, so he is a bit exposed to the cold there. I hope he didn't get hypothermia. You can find out by watching the behind-the-scenes version of Will It Off-Road, and you might be asking yourself, well, what is that? What's behind the scenes? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It is a longer, because it's less edited version of Will It Off-Road that has no ads whatsoever. And you get to see the outtakes and things that didn't quite make it into the public video. And also hear our Discord conversation. You can kind of see all the names on Raven's Discord overlay up there at the top right. Well, you can hear what all those little chat heads are talking about in the behind the scenes video. It is available for channel supporters only, and we have behind the scenes versions of most of the community videos that I upload here on my channel. There's 4 different ways you can get access to that. They all 4 require that you be a member of the Vainglorious Discord server. The link is in the description down below. And they require that you have your respective service that I'm going to mention in just a moment linked to your Discord account. The first is the most obvious. Right here on YouTube, become a channel member, which comes with an additional perk that no other channel supporters get. And that's early access to 100% of my videos. I'll be uploading this video like almost a month before it goes live. And you could have watched it a month ago if you were a channel member. Yeah, you could have watched all 6 of them for Bullet Off-Road in the Snow by now if you were a channel member, because they'll all be up. I'm recording the final 3 voiceovers all in one afternoon. The second way is to be a Twitch subscriber. I do stream on Twitch sometimes, though it's going to get better. I promise. There is a plan. I am going to be returning to a normal streaming schedule. Things are finally getting caught up. I'm almost there to where I'll be able to stream regularly again. The third is if you make a pledge at Patreon. Oh, the gooch is after somebody. Make a pledge at patreon.com/Vainglorious. It's after Raven. The gooch came after Raven. I don't know how many times when we were recording. It was quite funny. The fourth is on the Discord server itself. You can purchase a channel subscription where you can also sponsor videos and even commission custom videos should you decide. I'm just watching Raven's battle with the gooch. He doesn't get it yanked out of his car. So he's just doing his best to avoid the gooch, but then I'm in his way because Donkey got out. I don't know. I was watching the top right. I wasn't watching this one. Oh, I was turning around because I got tired of driving in reverse. But yeah, I think Donkey's trying to kill the gooch. I don't know what's. Yeah, Donkey's trying to kill the gooch to save Raven. This thing, as is the problem with front wheel drive and the lack of grip. In GTA Online, when I tried to turn, there was no mechanical grip there. It just was spinning its wheels, and so I could not turn left. So I had to do what we call the granny run, where I back up a little bit and get a run up at it. But finally, make it to the top, and we are up. 7 minutes, 31 seconds. So will it off-road in the snow? I mean, yeah, it made it. It's here. It's at the top of the mountain without any assistance. So, on a technicality, okay, sure, it'll off-road in the snow. But don't do it. You just, the next time it snows, you think, I want to go to the top of Mount Chiliad. Just no, not the Sugoi. I would say anything but the Sugoi, but there's vehicles that did worse. So that's not entirely true. But, maybe hit up the Willet Off-Road spreadsheet, which is linked in the description down below. And the 4th tab in is the snow tab, where you'll find all 80 vehicles that we have tested so far as of this season in a spreadsheet. I don't know what's going on. It looks like Donkey wants to Molotov me? I don't know. I have no idea. But for the controlled descent, I wasn't too terribly worried because now, we've got gravity helping us get down and the grip becomes less of an issue. But more importantly, brakes are the important thing. And the Sugoi does okay. It's perfectly adequate. Not the best in the snow. Some vehicles do better than others. I don't know what Hobo's... Well, he pulled it off, though. Never mind. I was about to say, I don't know what Hobo's doing up there. But you know what? He pulled it off, so good for him. But yeah, the brakes are fine. It gets us there. Well, prevents us from going over that edge is what it just did, though I think the bush may have been more in play there. Anyways, out of the 80 vehicles that we have tested, it is 65th, so way down at the bottom. It is 2 minutes, 35.65 seconds faster than the Sentinel Classic. I thought we'd get that one out of the way first. And it is 21.12 seconds slower than a Brigade getting up the mountain in the snow. It's crazy. It is 11th in sports out of the 13 that we have tested. So again, right there at the bottom. And then this is great. So it is 2 minutes 54.37 seconds slower than the Shafter V12 that you'll see next week. And then, of course, that same split to the Sentinel Classic that we mentioned a minute ago. So basically, 2.5 to 3 minute gap between in sports, just the bottom three there, which I think is pretty freaking awesome. We did not test Sprint Grand Prix. We did not test this in the dry conditions. It was before we started doing we're going to test every vehicle from a DLC thing in Will It Offroad, so it never got tested. I'm sure it eventually will, and we'll be able to make a comparison. Though by the time we do it, I'll probably forget that we did it in the snow, and I won't remember to be like, oh, in the snow it took 7 minutes, which is an entire in-game day almost. But we're down 2 minutes 53 seconds with a flare to market, and we'll watch everybody do the little jumps. Raven will jump out, of course. Bonk. And then we go back to the top of Mount Chiliad, where we fling the cars off the side. Hobo is in a jet, so I did not include his footage this time. Simply because it's just hard from the perspective of a jet to see what's really happening, since it's tiny little screen up in the top left. You don't really see much other than his jet and the mountain. Our cars are just kind of little specks. So that's why we don't have that. But we do have Raven's perspective. And you may be wondering why we call him Raven. Well, it's because that's been one of the many, many names that he had. And I think that was like the name he had when he first joined the Vainglorious Discord community years and years and years ago. Like, he's been around almost since the beginning. So, yeah. Another thing that's been around since almost the beginning is Will It Offroad Bingo, though actually it's not true. It took us 100 episodes to realize we should totally rip off Bruffy and have a bingo game that goes with Will It Offroad. But you can play that. The link is in the description down below. You just go to the Bingo Maker website, click Generate a New Card, and then when things happen in the video, if they're on your card, click them. And if you get a bingo, let us know about it in the comments down below. We need to make a Will It Offroad drinking game. That would be a lot of fun. Except I don't drink, so it wouldn't be fun for me, but it would be fun for all of you who drink. Not that I have no moral issue with drinking. You know what? You want to get hammered, knock yourself out. As long as it's not an addiction. If it's addiction, seek help. I just don't like alcohol. I think it smells bad and tastes terrible. Yeah, almost everything alcoholic I've ever had, I'm just like, I think that's what paint varnish paint remover would taste like. So yeah. So we are down for our damage descent, 1 minute 57 seconds. Let's take a look at the damage on the Sugoi. Most of the windows and lights are gone. The hood and the left doors only, for some reason, are gone, and the rear hatch, of course. And it has slightly bent wheels. Oh, it looks like the right doors won't close. I failed to put that on the list, but there it is. It is a thing. There are our support vehicles, Dinka Sugoi, looking surprisingly fresh considering it never went up or down the mountain. But that is going to bring us to our next vehicle. The Declasse Walton L35. I'm pretty sure this one was chosen by Commander Hobo, who is also in a Walton L35. I think we all are. Raven wasn't here for this one. The Sugoi was recorded a couple weeks, or about a week before the remainder of the cars that you're going to see this season, the final 5. So he was a little bit late, and this is the first vehicle that we did that day. So it's just 3 of us for the Walton, so we only have Hobo's perspective in the top left. Donkey doesn't really have the upload speeds to record. I think his computer would be able to pull it off to record. He has a gaming laptop, and I think he'd be fine, but I don't think he has the internet speed to be able to upload. But yeah, the Walton L35, I absolutely love this truck. I mean, if I could go back and have an old like Chevy S10 lifted, I mean, I every time I see lifted trucks, I tend to just roll my eyes. But there's something about a well done off-roading S10 that just, I don't know, it appeals to me. Maybe it's when I was in high school, a buddy of mine had a little, they were called Ram 50s. And that thing was just a lot of fun. I also had some friends with Jeeps and stuff like that, and we would go mudding. But that Ram 50 just had kind of an iconic look, and he took it off-roading a few times, and it did all right, from what I understand. But I don't know. I wouldn't mind driving something similar to this in real life, if not just occasionally. It would probably just sit in rust most of the time. Granted, most of them have sat in rust, and that's why you don't see them anymore. Anyways, I digress. In GTA Online, this thing does great. The only thing is, its suspension play is just a little bit weird, and that's going to kind of come back to bite us in the control descent. The climb up is fairly uneventful. It just goes. You just got to be a little bit careful, because it, like I said, it does have kind of some. It just bounces weird, I guess is the best way to say it. It doesn't behave exactly like a lot of the other vehicles in GTA that have a massive amount of suspension travel. But, see, there you go. You can see it kind of bounced and landed weird, and I wound up on my side. And it just weird little things like that. Not that really slowed it down all that much, because I got right back up on my wheels. That might have cost us a second or two. But, yeah, definitely kind of peculiar there. I was just going too fast. That's entirely my fault, not the truck. And we definitely lost about 5-10 seconds here, which could have put it even higher, but it doesn't matter, because it wouldn't have put it any higher in the list. Even 10 seconds wouldn't have put it any higher in the list, so it's okay. But did that final climb beautiful, and we are up 2 minutes, 44 seconds. So, will the Walton L35 off-road in the snow? Yeah, that's the type of time we're looking for. Something under 3 minutes is fantastic in the snow. Even under 4 is good, but under 3 minutes, absolutely perfect. That makes it third out of the 80 vehicles that we have tested in the snow. It is 12.83 seconds slower than the Issy Sports. Like I said, doesn't exactly matter that we lost a little time. And it's basically 0.6 of a second faster than the Canis Camacho. In terms of off-road class vehicles, it is 22. Oh, my donkey. It is 22.77 seconds slower than the Dragoer, which is the #1 off-roader. And then the same split to the Camacho that we mentioned earlier. In the dry, it turned into 2:24.24, which makes it 19.77 seconds. Lots of 7.7s. And saying 7.7 seconds is difficult. But 19.77 seconds slower in the snow than in the dry for the Walton. So it did great. We would love to have you join us for Will It Off-Road so that you can witness events like this. I hit the bump a little bit weird, and I was unable to stop because my wheels kept bouncing up off the ground. And I'm basically doing a premature damage descent. And you could have been there to witness it if you were a part of the Vainglorious Discord server and you play on PC. Anybody who's a member of the server and who has the game we're playing on the platform we're playing is welcome to join us when we do our community videos, whether it be Will It Off-Road, Human Fall Flat, or anything else that we record, as well as for our community streams. We would absolutely love to have you. Everybody there is really awesome. If you're watching this video, you're really awesome. So let's get all the really awesome people together in one awesome place, and that's the Vainglorious Discord server. And even if you don't play on the platform or play the game that we're playing, you should still join, because we have a couple hundred people coming up on 300, I think. I don't know. I don't look too often at the exact number, but there's a lot, and who play on every single platform you can imagine, and who play pretty much every type of game you can imagine. Plus, we have all kinds of other general interest channels that you can hang out and chat with us. And I really screwed up that approach. I thought the road was a little more to the right, so I turned to the right. I should have just kept going straight, and I would have been right back on the path. But it's a thing. I love that Hobo's business battle kicked in before my business battle did. Does that always happen? That the alerts go out different times for people? I don't know. But maybe it's because I was futzing about on the side of the hill and not going. You can see Raven did join us as we were doing the damage descent, or the controlled descent. Well, it basically was a damage descent. But speaking of the community streams and videos, we also now have Nintendo Switch in play. So we'll be doing some Switch stuff as well. We've got a Mario Kart stream coming up. I don't know if this video will go live. It's currently scheduled for January 27th, and I don't know exactly when this video is going to go live. Yeah, once again, a little bit of a bounce, and wasn't able to stop because of it. So this truck's taking a battering during the controlled descent, which doesn't really happen all that often anymore. But for whatever reason, like I said, this one, the suspension's just a little bit wonky. I don't know if there's a handling flag or what. Not really looked into it. Don't really care because I like the way it drives anyway. And it does present, that little extra bit of a challenge when you're off-roading, which can be kind of fun. So, and it's otherwise competent. If it could get up the mountain in, what did I say, a 224? In the dry, 224. Which back in the day, that would have been good for first place. So, it's fine. It's a good off-roader. Hobo's making his jump. I thought for a minute he was going to go over, but he didn't. He managed to land and then bonk right into the guardrail. But we are back at the top. And Raven joining us in a jet this time, so that's why we don't have his footage. And now we fling it off to see how much more damage we can inflict upon this poor truck. Looks like Donkey changed vehicles. I wondered why he did that. And it finally came up. He just likes to drive as many vehicles as possible. Which, you know what? Fair point. That works. Valid reason. You own all these cars in GTA Online. Why not drive 2 or 3 of them when we're recording the video? Hey, may as well. This thing is just taking a beating. I also love that the Hobo and I both went like a brown on tan, though mine's more maroon than brown, but it's still pretty close to brown. But the colors of our trucks are almost identical as I boot him right past. And now he's over there in turtle mode on his roof. Well, I'm just like, see you later. And try to catch up to Donkey, but nail a tree instead. And what's really sad is I almost do a thread the needle right here, but just clipped the light bar on the top of the tunnel for the bridge. So, is that what it's called? A tunnel when it goes under a bridge? When I went under the bridge. But it's longer than just under a bridge. I don't know. What's this area called? I'm going to keep calling it a tunnel. And try to get over the woodpile. Fail as usual. I will eventually get over that woodpile again. But we're down 1 minute 35, almost 36 seconds. Let's take a look at the damage on the Walton L35. All the lights are gone. Most of the windows are missing. The hood, the front left fender, and both doors along with the tailgate. I left those up on the mountain somewhere, 2 different places. There is a gunfight breaking out, and it has slightly bent wheels. I think it was the Gooch again. Yeah, it was the Gooch again. I told you, he kept going after Raven. There are support vehicles, including the jet over to the left, and there they are from the back, and that's going to do it for this episode of Will It Off-Road in the Snow. Thank you very much for watching. There are 10 trillion things you could have chosen to watch, and you chose this video, and I greatly appreciate it. We'll be back next week with the Buffalo EVX and the Shafter V12. But until then, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.